Temperatures dropped 30 to 40 degrees in some locations in less than 24 hours. That is not a gradual seasonal transition. That is a hard atmospheric reset. And it is the most dramatic temperature swing the eastern United States has seen this entire spring. Up to 13 inches of snow is falling on northern Minnesota and the Arrowhead region right now on Easter Sunday morning. While Fargo, North Dakota is dealing with a full blizzard with wind gusts up to 45 miles per hour, a genuine late-season blizzard on one of the biggest family holidays of the year. And while the cold is slamming the north, 45 million people across the South are still in or just exiting a severe weather zone from yesterday's outbreak, and meteorologists are already flagging Thursday through Sunday as the next significant severe weather setup for the southern plains. Stick with us through the city roundup, because when we get to the Southeast and Carolinas, that is when today's damaging wind and storm risk gets its full breakdown, and it is an Easter afternoon threat that most outdoor plans have not accounted for. Here is the big picture for Easter Sunday, April 6th. The storm system that produced devastating severe weather across the Midwest and Mid-South over the past 48 hours is finally racing off to the northeast. But it is leaving a loaded warm sector along the East Coast as a parting gift. Most of the country is clearing out beautifully this morning. High pressure is building in behind the front across the western and central United States, bringing sunshine, cooler temperatures, and genuinely drier air if you're in the Midwest or Plains today. Enjoy that quiet. You have flat out earned it after this week. The one area that still needs to pay close attention today is a corridor running from Georgia through the Carolinas, up through Virginia, and into coastal New Jersey and Delaware, a level 1 marginal risk with isolated strong to severe storm potential through this afternoon and early evening. The main hazard today in the Southeast and Carolinas is damaging winds and embedded heavier thunderstorm activity, pushing east ahead of the cold front. An isolated spin-up tornado cannot be ruled out between 3 and 7 p.m. from Greenville through Columbia to the Outer Banks. But the primary threat is straight-line wind damage. The drought situation across the Southeast is critically important context for today. The Carolinas, Georgia, and much of Florida have not seen meaningful rainfall in months, and some areas are running exceptional drought conditions. Whatever rain arrives today is badly needed, even if it comes with some storm risk attached. Behind today's cold front across the Midwest and Northeast, temperatures are sharply lower and the atmosphere is stable. No severe weather concerns for Easter dinner across the plains, Midwest, or Upper South, just cool, clear, and genuinely pleasant conditions once that front finishes clearing through. Now let's talk about the bigger story most people are missing today. A low-pressure system responsible for this entire active stretch is racing into Quebec and deepening as it goes. That deepening is exactly what yanked all that cold Canadian air southward and made this Easter Sunday feel like two completely different seasons. Let's talk about what is happening in the upper Midwest right now, because it is extraordinary for Easter Sunday. Minneapolis at 28 degrees is under a full blizzard warning, not a winter storm warning, but a blizzard warning with near zero visibility, heavy snow, and dangerous wind gusts. Duluth, Minnesota is at 22 degrees this morning, and the Arrowhead region near Lake Superior is getting hammered near record accumulation for the first week of April. And those communities along the shore are dealing with near zero visibility and roads that are essentially impassable right now. Good grief. It looks like February up there. Here is the dramatic contrast. Fargo, North Dakota is at 18 degrees this Easter morning with 45-mile-per-hour gusts and a full blizzard shutting down travel. A woman in Fargo said she looked outside expecting Easter sunrise and got a whiteout instead. Her Easter egg hunt is definitely postponed. Meanwhile, Laredo, Texas is sitting at 94 degrees today, hottest city in the entire country right now. That contrast between 18 in Fargo and 94 in Laredo on the same Easter Sunday tells you everything you need to know about how extreme and divided this April atmospheric pattern has become. This is the second significant late-season winter storm to hit the upper Midwest in less than a week, and the ice loading on power lines and tree branches in Wisconsin and Minnesota is a real problem. Communities that just got their power back yesterday are looking at another round of potential outages tonight. Here is the kicker for the week ahead. This cold air is not going to last long. By Wednesday, a significant heat surge pushes northward and makes it feel more like early summer, when you flip from blizzard to summer heat in less than 72 hours. The atmosphere builds up storm energy in a hurry. Monday and Tuesday are going to be the two quietest weather days of the next 10 days, for most of the country high pressure dominates east of the Rockies. Temperatures sit below average, and there is very little instability anywhere. That is actually fairly rare for the first week of April, and it is welcome. The one exception on Monday and Tuesday is the Northeast and New England, where another cold front arrives Monday morning and could bring snow showers to New York, Pennsylvania, and New England by Tuesday. Look, winter is not quite done up there yet. This is one more reminder of that. Hold on to this thought. Thursday through Sunday of this coming week is when organized severe weather returns to the southern plains and Midwest, and the setup for that second act is already being flagged as potentially more significant than this week. That full breakdown comes after the city roundup. All right, let's go city by city right now, covering every region, moving fast when we hit the Southeast and Carolina cities. Today's storm threat gets its full breakdown. Listen for your town. Starting in the Northeast, where Easter Sunday is fairly pleasant for most folks. New York City at 52 degrees with scattered rain showers and gusty offshore winds. Newark at 53 with moderate rain. And Jersey City at 52 with strong gusty winds. No severe weather concerns across the Northeast today. Philadelphia at 54 degrees with drizzle and limited visibility. Boston at 48 under cold rain with rough wave action. And Washington, D.C. at 58 with rain showers and some coastal flooding in low-lying tidal areas. These cities are dealing with the cold. Damp tail end of yesterday's storm, not fun. But no severe weather concerns. Northern New England and inland Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania at 49 with cold rain. Buffalo, New York at 34 with lake effect snow. Detroit, Michigan at 36 with light snow and slick road surfaces, and Indianapolis, Indiana at 42 with a wintry mix. These areas are firmly in the cold sector. Winter briefly returned overnight. Mid-Atlantic Norfolk, Virginia at 67 with strong surf conditions. Virginia Beach at 65 with large ocean waves and a strong onshore wind. Chesapeake at 67 with elevated coastal water levels today. If you are near tidal areas in the Chesapeake Bay corridor, be aware of coastal flooding potential through the afternoon. Washington, D.C. at 58 is seeing improvement as the front clears. Active weather for the D.C. metro is already gone, with just lingering clouds and a few afternoon showers possible. Richmond, Virginia at 76 is sitting in the warm sector right now and will see today's storm risk develop by late afternoon. The Southeast is the main weather story this Easter afternoon. Atlanta, Georgia at 75 degrees is under a severe thunderstorm watch, winds up to 40 miles per hour possible in the Marietta and Cobb County area. If you have outdoor Easter plans in Atlanta, move them indoors today. Do not wait on this one. Florida today is enjoying gorgeous Easter Sunday weather across the southern half. Miami at 86, Orlando at 89, Jacksonville at 88, and Tallahassee at 86. The Florida Panhandle is the exception, getting some much-needed rainfall that could total a half inch or more. Genuinely welcome moisture in an area dealing with exceptional drought. Georgia and the Carolinas. Savannah at 80 with strong ocean winds. Raleigh at 74 with rain developing this afternoon. Charlotte at 72 with scattered showers building. And Greensboro at 71 with storm potential increasing through the afternoon. These areas sit in today's level 1 marginal risk zone, real enough to interrupt outdoor Easter plans. Here's the thing that hits different about today's national map while families across the Southeast are watching storm clouds build toward Easter afternoon. Families in Minnesota are dealing with a blizzard, and families in southern Texas are sweating in 90-degree heat. One holiday, one country, 3 completely different Easters at the same time. Right here, this is the moment I told you about at the top. The Carolinas and Virginia are today's active storm corridor, and the peak window is between 3 and 7 p.m. local time. If you have outdoor Easter plans in the Carolinas or Virginia, keep your weather app open and know your indoor backup plan. Raleigh and Durham, North Carolina at 74 and 73. Both cities are watching the storm line push in from the southwest through the afternoon. With the wind threat and embedded heavier cells arriving around 4 to 6 p.m., Winston-Salem at 72 and Greensboro at 71 are both in the active zone for this afternoon. Charlotte at 72 is watching for embedded stronger cells in the line of showers. And Fayetteville at 79 is in the southern end of today's storm corridor with a wind threat by late afternoon. The key threat along the North Carolina coast is damaging wind gusts, but any well-organized cell here can produce a tornado. Virginia Richmond at 76 sits in the most active zone for this afternoon's storms, a good shot at significant thunderstorm action between 3 and 5 p.m. today. Virginia Beach at 65, Norfolk at 67, and Chesapeake at 67 are all watching for the storm line arriving from the southwest through the late afternoon. A retired teacher in Columbia, South Carolina said she stores her front porch chairs in the garage every April weekend because she learned years ago that these Easter storms come out of nowhere when the air is warm and the cold front slides in from the west. That local wisdom is exactly right for today. Gulf Coast and Texas. Houston. Texas at 82 with high humidity and severe thunderstorm risk by early evening. San Antonio at 85 with a severe storm and large hail warning still active. Austin at 83 and Fort Worth at 78, watching for severe thunderstorms and a possible isolated tornado through this afternoon. Dallas, Texas at 79 is dealing with flash flood watch conditions after significant rainfall over the past 48 hours. Additional rain today could push some streets back into flooding territory. Corpus Christi at 84 with strong onshore winds, and Laredo at 94 degrees, the hottest spot in the country today. Midwest cities, Chicago, Illinois at 38 with ice pellets and a wind chill making it feel like 28. A sharp reminder of what happens when the atmosphere resets fast. Nashville, Tennessee at 65 with rain and lightning. Louisville, Kentucky at 60, watching for Ohio Valley storm activity. And Memphis at 70 with very high humidity. Kansas City, Missouri at 55 with scattered rain showers. St. Louis at 58 with occasional small hail and rain. Omaha, Nebraska at 45 with cold, gusty winds, all firmly behind the cold front. Des Moines, Iowa at 53, Lincoln, Nebraska at 44, and Wichita, Kansas at 58 with overcast skies. The plains are quiet today. Indianapolis, Indiana at 42 with a wintry mix. Fort Wayne, Indiana at 41. Columbus, Ohio at 46 with cold rain. Cincinnati at 52 with light drizzle. And Toledo, Ohio at 40 with cold lake wind blowing in. Oklahoma City at 76, staying warm ahead of the front, with a low-end tornado risk still active through late morning. Burn this into your memory for the week ahead. The quiet arriving Monday and Tuesday is not the end of this severe weather season. It is the atmosphere taking a breath before reloading. When that warm air surges back in by Wednesday, Thursday through Sunday is going to demand your full attention. Northern Plains and Winter Zone Minneapolis at 28 under a blizzard warning do not travel in the Minneapolis area today. Period. St. Paul at 27 with over 10 inches of snow on the ground, and Duluth at 22 with near zero visibility and blizzard conditions that have shut down travel in northeastern Minnesota. Fargo, North Dakota at 18, coldest city in the country today with a blizzard in progress and 45-mile-per-hour wind gusts creating whiteout conditions. Madison, Wisconsin at 30 with snow beginning to fall. Milwaukee at 32 under an active ice storm warning. And Grand Rapids, Michigan at 35 with snow and rain mixing. The ice accumulation situation across Wisconsin and Michigan deserves its own mention. Power lines and tree branches in this region are loaded down with ice from the past week. And any additional accumulation tonight could bring widespread outages to communities that are already running on stressed infrastructure. This is a serious situation up there. Mountain West Denver, Colorado at 48 with clear skies and a red flag fire warning, dry conditions and gusty downslope winds creating fire danger across the Front Range today. Colorado Springs at 42, Aurora at 46, and Albuquerque, New Mexico at 72 with very strong mountain-generated winds. Salt Lake City at 55 with partial sunshine. Let's wrap the city roundup with the Southwest and West Coast. Where Easter Sunday looks like a completely different country from what the Midwest and South are managing today, Phoenix is at 91, California is gorgeous, and the West Coast is quietly enjoying one of the nicest spring Sundays of the year. Desert Southwest Phoenix, Arizona at 91, running 5 to 10 degrees above normal for early April. Tucson at 89, Mesa at 90, Scottsdale at 89, Chandler at 91, and Glendale at 91 with blazing sunshine and very low humidity. Las Vegas, Nevada at 84, and Henderson at 85, classic desert Sunday. No complaints. California, Los Angeles at 74 with warm sunshine and a very high UV index. San Diego at 68 with morning fog. San Francisco at 62 with a strong northwest wind. Sacramento at 73, warm and dry. San Jose at 71, Oakland at 65, Fresno at 77, and Riverside at 81. California is having a gorgeous Easter Sunday. Pacific Northwest Seattle at 55 with overcast skies and drizzle. Portland, Oregon at 53 with light rain. Tacoma at 53, Spokane at 49, and Boise, Idaho at 59. Honolulu, Hawaii at 82 with a brief tropical rain shower. And Anchorage, Alaska at 15 degrees with heavy snow. That is your full national picture. Here is the 10-day picture. And straight talk, it is one of the most active mid-April setups meteorologists have been tracking in several years. The quiet of Monday and Tuesday is real and welcome. But it is a brief intermission before a serious second act kicks in around Wednesday. Wednesday brings an Alberta Clipper, a fast-moving Canadian storm down through the northern plains and Midwest, bringing snow to North Dakota and Minnesota and isolated thunderstorm potential from Wisconsin back through Kansas City. Not a major severe weather event, but it is the opening act for Thursday and Friday. Thursday and Friday are where I want your full attention. Folks, dew points will start climbing across the southern plains as Gulf moisture surges north, and organized severe weather returns from Iowa through Nebraska, down through Texas and Oklahoma. Damaging winds, large hail, and tornadoes all back on the table. Ain't nothing minor about that setup. Saturday and Sunday of next weekend take things up another level. Multiple storm systems are expected to come off the Pacific and into the desert Southwest. And as those systems merge with Gulf moisture, Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas could be looking at the most significant severe weather event since this active stretch began, beyond next weekend. The middle and end of April is being flagged by both major models as a continuation of this active pattern. The jet stream is going to stay loaded, and the Gulf moisture pipeline is wide open. Severe weather season for the southern plains and Midwest is accelerating with each passing week. Before the action plan, here is the most underreported story of this weather week: the southeast drought. The Carolinas, Georgia, and much of Florida are in exceptional drought, with some areas receiving less than half an inch of rain over the past 6 months. That is a real agricultural and water supply crisis quietly unfolding. Today's storm system moving through Georgia and the Carolinas will bring some relief, but one rain event cannot fix a 6-month rainfall deficit. The Southeast needs a sustained pattern change, delivering repeated rainfall events over several weeks. What arrives today is better than nothing, but it barely puts a dent in the drought monitor. Your action plan for Easter Sunday if you have outdoor plans in Georgia, the Carolinas, or Virginia. Build in a flexible indoor backup between 3 and 7 p.m. this afternoon. The storm risk is real, and that is exactly when today's level 1 marginal risk peaks. A solid plan B is all you need today. For anyone still dealing with active severe weather in Texas and Oklahoma this morning, San Antonio at 85 has a severe storm and large hail warning still active. And Fort Worth at 78 is watching for an isolated tornado threat. Do not let the holiday create complacency. Check the latest warnings before heading outside. Good grief. For the blizzard zone across Minnesota, Wisconsin, and the Dakotas, do not travel today unless you have absolutely no choice. Roads in the Duluth and Fargo areas are closed or near impassable in several locations. 13 inches of snow combined with 45 miles per hour wind gusts in a blizzard creates conditions that no vehicle handles safely. For the Northeast, dealing with cold rain today, Boston, New York, and Philadelphia are all seeing rough conditions with gusts up to 35 miles per hour and coastal flooding in tidal areas. Do yourself a solid and stay back from the shoreline. Those waves are bigger than they look and the water is very cold. For the 10-day planning window, if you are in the southern plains, the Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas corridor needs to be on high alert starting Thursday. Do not finalize outdoor plans for that time frame without a weather check first. The Climate Prediction Center's high confidence signals for next weekend are not ones to ignore. Start thinking about it now. For Easter Sunday family gatherings, most of the central United States is beautiful today. Cool, sunny, and genuinely pleasant after a brutally active week. If you are in Iowa, Missouri, the Plains, or the Mountain West, you are in great shape today. Get outside and enjoy the quiet. You have earned every bit of it. If this forecast is useful to you today, share it with someone in the Carolinas, Virginia, or Georgia who has outdoor Easter plans this afternoon. The 3 to 7 p.m. window is when today's storm risk peaks, and a lot of folks have not been warned about it. That one share could make a real difference. Drop your city name in the comments right now and tell us what Easter Sunday looks like where you are. Are you waking up to a blizzard, dealing with remnant storms in the south, or enjoying a gorgeous spring day out west? We are reading all day, and we want to know. Let's bring it all the way home. A 76-degree temperature gap between Fargo at 18 and Laredo at 94 on one Easter Sunday morning. Blizzard conditions shutting down travel in northeastern Minnesota. And the most significant severe weather setup since this active stretch began, already loaded and waiting for next weekend. This April is extraordinary. Temperatures drop sharply again in the Northeast Monday into Tuesday before a 30-plus degree warming surge arrives by Wednesday. Thursday and Friday bring organized severe weather back to the southern plains with tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds all on the table. And next weekend may be the biggest weather story of the entire month. This is Tom. Easter Sunday is mostly a quiet reset for the central United States today, but keep this forecast close. Share it with the people you care about in the storm zones, and start watching the Thursday-Friday window for the southern plains. The atmosphere is not done with this country, not by a long shot.